Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am featuring the April 2021 large Die of the Month set from Spellbinders. This is called the Universal Curved Border Die Set. It has 11 pieces in the set, and you mix and match these long dies right here to create unique borders. I'm going to show you me just playing with these dies to figure them out and see what they look like. So I'm cutting this flower border from a piece of 8.5 by 3.5 white cardstock, and you can see here the top part is cut away while the rest stays in the paper. And there are a lot of fallout pieces that are small, so when I run this through my die cut machine, I like to run it forward and back just to ensure all those tiny pieces are going to fall out, and then the use of my tool-in-one helps greatly. So now I'm going to die cut this second one right below that has a bit of a lattice type pattern, and this one also, it cuts a pattern into the paper but does not cut a piece that will be removed from the paper, if that makes sense. You can see it here. And by the way, you can die cut these at the same time. You don't have to run them through individually. I just wasn't sure yet how they were all going to look cut out. So now I have these smaller borders that are going to cut away the paper. So this one has a stitched line. It's more of a dotted line, and it cuts that border. So now you can see my flower and my lattice have been cut away from the paper. Now this one has a scallop and a dotted line. So I'm going to cut away the bottom of this piece, and you'll see that I'll be left with a unique border and then a dotted and scalloped piece there. And you can piece these together to make some really fun and unique backgrounds. You can use them on slimline sized cards, the 8.5 by 3.5 size. You can use them on A2 and anything in between. So here I've cut that scalloped one from the top. I thought it was so beautiful, and I'm just kind of laying things out and playing with them and exploring my new die set. And I did like the look of that scallop a lot, so I will be playing with it in my card today, but you'll see how I do that. So now I am cutting just that wavy line with the dotted line that it leaves behind, and then I'm using this piece right here as a guide because I want a pink wavy background to go behind the lattice part of my card. So that's why I used it as a guide and just ran that wavy die through 2 times. So there I have my background. Oh, here I'm showing you how easily these line up together, and you could run them through the die machine at the same time. So I'm going to cut mine right here with just that wavy die, and then I will have a piece that is removed from the paper. And again, I'll use my tool-in-one to help all those little fallout pieces come out very easily without a lot of poking. And there, look how beautiful that is. I love it. It's so springy. And now this lattice piece, I'm going to cut from a like vibrant pink piece and also use that wavy border at the bottom of the paper. So it will be cut away. Now the bottom is cut away, but I also want the top to be cut away. So I'm going to do that same thing again, moving that wavy border so that it is now above my die cut piece. And I'll just scoot all those die cut fallout pieces to the side. So here I am cutting the top part out, and then I'll have a standalone lattice piece from a different color than my flowers, and it can have that pink background behind it. Now I have a really dark green piece of paper that I'm going to die cut with the scallop and the wavy border at the same time. And when I do that, I have this really cute scalloped trim piece. I did try it first in that like electric green color, and I wanted some bold contrast, so I switched it up. Now I'm going to die cut all the flowers I want for this card. I ended up die cutting all of those 2 times and the leaves 1 time. And then I'm going to do some paper piecing and adhere the flowers over the top of the white ones. So I'm going to have bright pink flowers, light pink pink flowers, some white, and some dark green. And this is all going to have the backdrop of that electric lime color. So it's just going to really pop. And I think this color combination is so much fun. I love the bright green in the background and then the dark green, and then the same with the pink. I have the super dark and the light pink. I just love bold, bright colors and things that are really striking, mixed with the softer colors. So you let me know what you think. I know some of you are really into really soft pastel colors, like my friend Kim. Are you watching, Kim? I threw a little pastel in for you. And here I'm just cutting off the excess from that border, which now brings that lattice piece down to about 8 1/4 inches. So I am going to have to trim this panel down so I will have a consistent border all the way around. You'll see in just a moment. All right, so I've glued that down, but I want to trim off this one flower that's hanging below the white area so it doesn't interfere with all my layers here. So I'm going to stick this green border down, but I'm not really going to press it down just yet because I need to slip that pink one up against or underneath it. I don't know why I didn't glue it down first. Sometimes I like to do things that make life harder for me. Do you ever do that? Yeah, I do. I do enough for the both of us, I'm sure. So I'll get all of this glued down, and you can see there that my lattice piece is shorter than my card base. So I am going to trim that down with my paper cutter. I have a guillotine style paper cutter, so it trimmed that off without any problem. Just it had some pieces of the flower border that it had to cut off as well. So now I have those little individual leaves that don't paper piece, and I'm just sticking them in and around my little flowers. Look how awesome that dark green looks on the electric lime. Oh, gorgeous. So that will be 4 additional leaves I'm adding there. And I did trim off their little stems because it was too hard to lift up my flower and tuck it under, and it seemed to work out fine. Now this is the clear stamp set of the month for April, and it coordinates with this month's kits. This large die of the month, it's going to coordinate with the Glimmer Hot Foil kit of the month. Those are the ones I know for sure because those are the ones that I get. So I'm going to stamp this branch piece with some moss ink. I think it's like Forest Glades, Everglades ink. And so it's a really dark green on top of my electric lime again. And I just love that finishing touch. It looks so amazing there. So now I'm bringing in some half pearls, and I have a hard time with pearls, with embellishments, with the jewel picker. You'll see here. And this is the reason why I didn't show you all of the pearls going on, because me and these little pearls, we battle each other. So there's 3, and then here's the last one, and I just put it all the way down the middle, and it's so gorgeous. And now I'm adding the next size up. So the ones I put on the lattice were teeny tiny. These ones are just tiny, and they're going to go in the center of all the flowers. And I just think that extra little touch of white really helps the white in my flower border pop. And I just love bling. You got to have a little bling in your cards, right? It looks really good. So I will even put them on those smallest flowers, and I did end up putting in the teeny tiny pearls on there. Now I couldn't decide what color of paper I wanted for my sentiment, but this thank you is from that clear stamp set of the month, and you can see it's curved. And then I'm going to bring in the wavy die, as I've been calling it, and die cut out this thank you sentiment. So first I'll go through my die cut machine with the die across the top, and then with the die across the bottom. And you can see it left the stitch line there below the word thank you. But for some reason, this just didn't look right to me. It was a little bit too wide with that polka dot line there, the dotted line. And I thought, oh, if I trim it down, it'll be shorter, it'll be better. No, it looks weird. So I thought the pink one also was a really good option for this card. So now I'm just using that die as a template to trace the lines so that when I cut this out, the curve will not only match the sentiment, the curve of the sentiment, but it's going to match the curve of my lattice piece. So there I am, just fussy cutting on that line. I did erase any pencil line that might have got left behind. I'm going to trim this down and then flag cut each end for something a little fancier, and I really like it. I love the dark green on the light pink. Such a cute look. And this will get popped up into the center of my card with some foam squares just like that. And then I have a gorgeous thank you card, and then that will get glued down to my slimline card base that is 8.5 by 3.5 inches. So originally this paper would have been 8.5 by 7, and then I scored it in half at 3.5. And that finishes up my card with the new universal curved border set. So many possibilities with this die set, and I really had a blast playing with it. I love scallops so much and polka dots. So this set I just loved, and the cute little flowers are just easy and fun. So I hope that you love it too, and hopefully gave you some insight of how to use your brand new large die of the month. If you're not a large die of the month subscriber from Spellbinders, I will have a link to this kit plus all the other kits available from Spellbinders because they have a bunch and they're super good deals, so you can check those out below. And I will be back again very soon with another stamping video just for you. So feel free to subscribe and ring the little bell, and I'll see you all very soon. Happy stamping. Bye.